Hello, myself Dr. Shefali Sonaune. Today we'll have a session for understanding cyber crimes, for which few of the points I would like to go for discussions. What exactly is the cyber crime? Because number of crimes come under the umbrella of the cyber crime. Which law is applicable for the punishment of the cyber crime, we need to understand. So a general understanding we need to have. Then what are the ideas for cyber criminals and what are the categories for those? Because there are different perspectives with which the categories are there, and we need to have certain divisions which will give us some crimes and their types. Once we discuss about the types of the cyber crimes, we have to have certain idea that those types are described using certain perspectives again, where the computers are definitely used. But what exactly is the role of the computer? What technology is used for committing the cyber crime, and who is the target harm? So depending on those concepts, there are different categories for having the types of the cyber crimes, and the descriptions are given in the literature itself. So whenever we'll have a discussion, the cyber crime can be considered as if it is the act or the commission of an act that is forbidden, or the omission of the duty which is expected, that is commended by the public law, and that makes the offender liable to the punishment by the law. So that is very important. So what exactly is the act and what expectation by that act, and if it is offended, then what should be the probable punishment, we need to understand, and for which certain guidelines are given. So who are the cyber criminals? Definitely we can think that okay, cyber criminals are somewhat dangerous people, but I can say that, I can claim that the crime starts from me. The crime starts from me myself. So am I a criminal? Yes, definitely I am a criminal, because being a researcher, whenever we go for generating any of the report, definitely we have certain references, and if we are not mentioning those references in the form of citations, then definitely we are making a crime. We are just making the piracy of the material what we are referring, and that's why we are punishable, definitely punishable, and that particular thought process should be there. So as this particular video is related to the academics as one of the criteria, then in your academics definitely we need to go for certain references, and those references may be from books or maybe from articles from websites itself. So whatever is the particular theme I have represented here for demonstrating the piracy of the material, I think this particular picture also I have downloaded from some of the website. If the permission for downloading is given, then okay, I am free to accept it. Otherwise, I have to mention the website from where I have taken that particular article or particular image itself. Fortunately, that particular image I have taken from the website which is allowed to copy, that means freewares are there. So in such cases, we have to have certain concerns for the plagiarism. The plagiarism may be deliberate, that is maybe intentional plagiarism is there, or some accidental plagiarism is there. But for any of the situation, it can be treated as if it is the piracy, and the person is, say, liable for the punishment. What exactly is the punishment? That is dependent on, say, what is the gravity of the particular piracy you are making. I may have certain examples for the discussions further. So if you are going for the rewriting of any book, or if you are going for the copying and the pasting of the web pages, because normally we are going for the patchworks for the writing of your reports or the articles or even research papers. So if you are buying, you are purchasing, or you are downloading, or you are borrowing some papers, so in those cases you need to concern for the plagiarism. Even if you are not aware that what exactly is taken care under the plagiarism, you need to, say, go for the rules and the regulations for those. So what exactly you are downloading, whether you are citing this, whether you are not citing this one. So everything you should have whenever you are generating something as if it is your own material. So that is apart, that is somewhat different example, but I have purposely taken this example because this comes under one of the cyber crime, and every day every person is committing such type of the crime. So we should be very aware with this particular platform. Now, in a sense, whenever we need to find out who are the cyber criminals. Again, one more picture is there. That picture is downloaded from the website, and it is said that the picture itself is very funny. We can say that we can find out that there are few, say, animals are there. The representation of the animals is given that, okay, the person who is able to operate computer, maybe the person is novice user, or maybe the person is some expert using for the usage of the computer. So from novice user to the expert users, every person is possibly is the cyber criminal if the person is not following all specific rules and regulations. So in that sense, we need to find out who exactly are the cyber criminals. So for finding out the cyber criminals, there are three broad categories, broad types are there where the cyber criminals can be described. The first category is that the people or the criminals who are very much hungry for the recognition definitely want to attract the attention of the users, maybe the hobby hackers rather, or maybe IT professionals, or maybe politically motivated hackers are there, or even some terrorist organizations are there. The second group is there who are not interested in the recognition, but maybe some other interests are there. Some psychological spoils are there, or maybe some finance given to the person, to the criminal for making or certain crime is there. Maybe some state-sponsored hackers are there, or some organized criminals are there. And such issues are often observed, and we need to identify such crimes who are not coming forward for their recognition but actually making some crimes, and such category do exist. Now the third one is the cyber criminals who are the insiders of your organization, or whatever is the perimeter you define for your working environment. For this, suppose some former employees are there, and if those employees are not happy, then for the purpose of seeking some revenge, possibly they make certain cyber criminals, and most of the times those are very, very dangerous criminals because they are knowing all possible details of the organization or the institutions or the perimeter what you are defining for the environment. So such companies may have certain employees who can go to other companies to gain certain, say, information, and that information may be passed on to other companies, maybe to damage the contents, or maybe having some theft of the information from one to other. Some competitions are there, and some, say, if the companies are rivals or some competitors are there, definitely they use such type of the criminals to obtain information. Now, in a way, if I say that if any cyber breaches are there, total 10 vague or the broad categories I have listed down here, not limited to those categories, but those are some representative categories what we can understand. First of all, I can say that cyber stalking is there. So cyber stalking is of course related to the chatting, which is the cyber chatting. So many of the times that there are certain groups who are having certain chatting, and if those chats are observed or listened by some other people, and those other people may be passive for the listening but can use that particular information for the active form, and can happen certain crimes. So in that way I can say that cyber stalkings are there, and for that purpose nowadays the chatting is recommended for further encryption. So it's not so easy to observe or listen to the chatting. Now there are certain terrorism, that terrorism itself is one of the word which goes for spreading of the terrorism by misusing the technology. So most of the expert technology is available, computer technology is available, IT technology is available, and that technology is used for the misuse purpose, and which spreads out the terrorism. There is another concept of the cyber porn, which exactly is the some criminals are there who enjoy the some photographic images, and those are most of the times related to some sex scandals. So some morphing is one of the technology which is used for the cyber porns. There is another concept of the cyber theft, that is theft is related not to the money but to the time itself. For example, if I pay something for login hours, and if those login hours are taken away by some other person, then I can say that it is the case of the cyber theft itself. There is another idea of the slandering, that is the registration of the websites from the other countries where it is not supposed as if it is the crime. So unfortunately, I can say that the cyber crimes and the laws which are related to how countermeasures over the crimes are limited to the boundaries of the nations. So if a person from one nation is going for or is committing some of the activity sitting outside of that nation, then possibly some other rules are there, and those rules may not be applicable. And some countries are there which are not having that strict activities or that strict laws against the commitment of the crimes are there. So definitely people use the advantage of such countries, and sitting in those countries they try to register, and definitely over the internet they can have a connection to any of the computer across the globe. So that is one of the idea for the cyber slandering. There is another idea for the cyber vandalism, where using the technology person can use or person can tarnish the image or the fame of a person or the organization. So that is for just spoiling the image in the society itself. Then we are having some laundering. These are related to money lottery like cases. So many of the time we observe that there are some unwanted links observed whenever we try to download something or we try to connect over the internet. But at that time those links are very attractive, and those can pull the attraction of the users, and with these, if users are getting connected to such links, so most of the links are not safe and some laundering cases may happen. There is another idea for the fraud, that fraud is related to financial. When I say that it's a theft, theft is related to the time and fraud is related to the financial concepts. So most of the times it is observing with the bank systems. So I can say that suppose there is some capital and some interest rate is there, and if that interest rate is there and that is used for the calculation with some specific precision which is slightly changed at the time of the processing, and after processing that can be again rechanged back to its own amount. So having some small change in the value of the interest, possibly it will give you some cumulative effect, and that is the countable effect with the amount of the money what is taken under the fraud. So that is the idea for the cyber fraud. Then we are having some trespassing, that is following a person through technology. So we can find out that if any mail is sent, email is sent, with that email, the email headers always use some IP addresses. So finding out the IP addresses or finding out some individual identity is possible with the cyber trespassing and can be used for the malfunction purposes. So that is another kind of the attack. Or you can say that there is another style which is the cyber contraband, which is selling some illegal items. So nowadays there are so many ideas coming up with the cyber shopping or the net shopping, and where we can find out that there are so many cases which are going for the cyber contraband. So specific cases can be defined over any of the cyber breach, and we need to find out what are the loopholes, what are the compatible issues whenever we go for having the connectivity. I'm just sharing this slide because whatever are the breaches we found earlier, those breaches are happened because of the some of the reasons, and some summary is given by IBM Security Services Group, that it is saying that okay, more than 42%, that is 42 plus 6, we can consider that these are because of the vulnerabilities available in the network, maybe because of the configuration errors, maybe some weak loopholes in the network, or maybe some easy passwords what we are using which are easily guessable, easily breakable. So because of this, most of these cyber breaches happen, and if we concentrate over this one, possibly we can minimize that particular value or that particular percentage, so that there are certain precautions to to avoid the cyber breaches, I can claim. So whenever we are having some law concept, okay, I'm not discussing the law in detail because that is the theoretical part, and we can refer some manuals what exactly are the regulations given under the law. But whenever the hackers and the law is there, that particular commitment, the particular did what hacker is carrying out, whether that particular did is say punishable under the law, I need to find it out, because whatever are the crimes we are going for, that particular crimes may be breaking or maybe some other categories, and that may not come under the cyber crime. So first of all, we need to define what exactly is the cyber crime, whether the given commitment, whether the given crime is under the cyber crime or it is the regular crime, and it should be entertained at the regular police chowki or the police department rather than the cyber crime department. So suppose some courts and juries are there, they know basically what exactly is the distinction, what exactly is the bifurcation involving the breaking of the rule and entering into some property for the physical space. So I can say that, suppose I have a example, let the person is there, the person picks the lock of a door which is hanged with the handle, or the second category is that the lock is unlocked and the door is turned by the person. The third category is that after just unlocking the door, the person may enter into the house, and the fourth category is that the person may steal some of the items from the house itself. So I have just numbered those of the 4 deeds here. So just picking up the lock or turning the handle or entering into the person's house may not be the serious crime, we can say. Whatever are the punishments given, whatever law is talking about, these may not be the serious, but the fourth one is the serious one. So depending on such category, depending on the severity of the deed of the person, of the thief or the criminal, the law is applicable. Let me relate this to the computer itself. For relating this one, I have created few of the criteria, and I need to find out some determination of the criteria, and I need to find out whether this particular criteria fits with the cybercrime itself. So first scenario is that suppose the person X steals a computer device. So it is related to the computer, that computer or a printer which is available in the computer lab, the stealing is there. Can I call this as a cybercrime? Okay, we'll discuss this. In the second scenario is there, let the person Y breaks into the computer lab and then snoops around, moves around. The third scenario is that the person Z enters into the computer lab, puts some explosives which can say ignite after some short period, and then it will destroy the computer lab. And let the fourth scenario is there, the person P uses the computer to file a fraudulent income tax. So out of those 4 scenarios, now let us discuss that what exactly comes under the cyber attack. Okay, under the cyber crime itself, what we can call. So if the first scenario is considered, I can say that it is a mere theft. It is a mere theft because a printer or a computer can be considered as if it is the atom like the other atom. Even if there is a theft of the TV screen or the TV device or the refrigerator from the house itself. So what punishment is given by the law, the similar punishment may be there for the computer device stealing. So I cannot say that this is the computer crime or this is the cyber crime itself. In the second one, what I can say that entering into the lab itself, It is just the entering and the breaking. This is not again the cyber crime. This is just the entering and the breaking. Maybe the another criteria where the punishment might have written what exactly is the punishment can be with the law itself. Now in the third one again, it is going for the explosion in the computer law. Though it's a computer law, even if the explosion is there in some room or in some other part of the house itself, it's a kind of this destroying the thing. So it comes under the vandalism. Surely it is not the cyber crime. In the fourth scenario, of course, the computer is used as if it is the tool to have a calculation for the fraudulent income tax. So in that case, I can say that computer is the principal tool. So this particular situation, we may say that it can come under the computer crime or it can come under the computer attack. Now attack is the another idea where when we say about the computer attack or when we say about the information or the internet attack, that is attack over the information and that information is with the computer. But right now when we say the computer crime, it is the crime using the computers. As if right now I have given the example using the computer or as a tool. So again with this idea I need to go for the classification. So I have made the first classification based on the role of the computer. So if I want to go for the cyber crime, I have total 3 categories, broad categories for the classification of the cyber crimes. The first category I would like to discuss, which is the role of the computer. The computer's role may be the narrow sense or the computer's role may be in a broad sense. So what is the narrow sense? I will say that the computer can be used as the object in the narrow sense, and in a broad sense the computer can be used as the tool or the computer can be used as the environment. So what is the example? Say computer as the object, that computer information is stored on the computer is the subject, is the target for the crime. So in that case I can say that some hackers are there. Those hackers are interested over getting the information which is stored in the computer or making some harm to the computer or making or denying the access to the computer, which we can consider as one of the active attack. But that computer is not made available for the further usage. Maybe denial of service or maybe distributed denial of service. This can be considered as the one of the cyber crime. Though this is the active attack, again this also can be divided or also can be considered as if it is a cyber crime. Or even some virtual pornography is there. So watching the pornography over the computer screen in a virtual form may be considered as the computer as an object. On the other category, instead of just watching, instead of just observing, if the computer is used for the distribution of the content of the child pornography, then I can say that this is one of the major idea where the computer is used as a tool. So in that case, the computer or the information stored on the computer constitutes an important tool for committing the crime. Maybe some computer fraud is there, some forgery is there. So that is the basic difference whenever I use computer in a broad sense. In the other case, when the computers are there, as if these are the environments, then we can say that the information stored on the computer plays a non-substantial role in the act of the crime, but it can contain some evidence of the crime. So this is very useful that whenever some digital forensics take place. So in that case, the forensic cycle always use some evidences, and those evidences, if any murder is there or if any bank robbery is there, but of course for those cases or even drug trade is there, the computer is having certain role to store the information which is storing some evidence. So in that case I can say that computer can be used as if it is an environment. So these are the classic ideas where the computers are used, or what are the roles of the computers or the IT devices in making the cybercrime itself. So in a vague form, what is the definition we carried out for the cybercrime? Now I can come towards the coherent definition of the cybercrime. That is, it is the criminal act and that can be carried out only through the use of cyber technology and can be take place only in the cyber realms, cyber environments. So that is the basis whenever the IT Act 2000 comes in a picture, and over this the IT Act is designed. There are certain amendments going on over this basic act, but basically such particular focus was designed there, with which the rules and regulations are developed, and with those rules and regulations we are moving further. Now, whenever the cyber crimes are there, let those cyber crimes are specific or maybe related to some specific intentions, or some cyber assistance are there. So, let me discuss that if any specific cyber crime is there, maybe some cyber piracy is there. We have talked enough about this cyber piracy. I have taken example for you, say, what are the content, what you are citing from some of the references, that is the plagiarism or plagiarism, what you are pronouncing for this one, maybe the one of the idea which comes majorly for the cyber piracy. Then you are going for the cyber trespass, that is I have given example of the email header or whatever. Cyber vandalism is there, that is just destroying the contents or the information. Cyber stalking is always there. Then some pornography related information or rather crimes are there. And whenever some assistance is there, okay, fraudulent income tax related environment may be created. So in that way, I can say that the cyber crimes may be some specific or some related are there. And based on this one, I can have other category for the classification of the cybercrime, and that can be considered as the second category of the cybercrime classification, and that focuses over the cyber technology. So majorly the cyber technology, what we have considered as the cyber piracy, that is in unauthorized way to reproduce copies of the proprietary software or the proprietary information, or distribute the proprietary information in the digital form across the environment or across the network. That comes under the cyber piracy. The second one is the cyber trespass, that is to gain or to exceed unauthorized access to an individual's or the organization's computer, or a password protected website can be hacked. Okay, in that way we can have the third technology, which is the major technology for the purpose of the vandalism, to unleash one or more programs that disrupt the transmission of the electronic information across one or more computer networks, including the internet, or destroy data resident in a computer, or damage a computer system's resource, or both of these. So these are the ideas whenever we say that these are the broad categories rather can use, or rather these three broad technologies are there with which the crime can take place. So with this I can say that the crimes involving the distribution of proprietary MP3 audio, okay, MP3 files are there. So definitely it comes into the first category, and that first category what I said, that is the cyber piracy. The second example is that the crime involving the one of the dangerous virus, that is the I love you or the love bug, which is embarrassing virus rather. This is just tarnishes the image of the individual. So I can say that this comes under the third category, which is the cyber vandalism. The next example is that the denial of the service, those attacks on the websites are there which fall under the trespass also and the vandalism also. So I can say that these are the combined attack under the technology of the trespass and the vandalism itself. So these are the few examples with which we can move further. The third category is there, which is the classification of the cyber crimes are there, where the focus is for the target harm. Who are the, not exactly always are the people, the who is the target, which is the target to whom you are providing or the criminals are providing the harm. Depending on this one, the classification is given, and with this classification again there is a sub classification, that is the cyber crime against the individual person or the individual element is there. The cyber crime against the property is there, the cyber crime against the organization is there, the cyber crime against the society is there, and the cyber crime which is originating from some news groups are there, which is nowadays very popular or rather very dangerous, and we need to have certain awareness. So I think those particular cyber crimes which is classified with the category of 3, I need to discuss with some further video, because nowadays certain cyber crimes are majorly classified with this particular criteria. This perspective is used for having the classification, and under every category possibly there are number of subcategories are there and few examples are there. So in my further video I'll go for this particular cyber crime and what exactly is the mindset of becoming a criminal, why a person becomes hacker or rather becoming the cracker. What is the difference in the hacker and the cracker? So I need to discuss, we need to undergo with this idea. So I'll continue this further for the next part of the tutorial itself. So of course, if any query, we may have a discussion, we can have a contact. Thank you. Thanks a lot.